Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Jules, here with Scott, and if we're together, it can mean only one thing. It is time for some news, so let's hit that jingle.
Hot dang, there's news, give it all you got. I guess it's time for Jules and Scott.
And we're back in the room. Never easy on the knees, is it? And today we're talking about Walmart, or more specifically, Walmart Canada, who last night had a bit of an oopsie. What they did is they basically posted out a ton of gaming, box art covers. Well, not the real box art covers, but listings on their website. Yep. Then realised, whoopsie daisy, we've done dookie dog trousers. Let's take them back off. But the internet, being the ever-vigilant eagle that it is, managed to capture all of these, and now Scott's going to tell me about them, and I'm going to react, because I don't know what was announced. I've only just caught up on this.
So with E3 being in a few weeks, you can tell that the vast majority of these were meant to be held back until the requisite companies could have gone, hey, it's our big thing. So if you don't want any E3 spoilers, I guess you can,
turn away now.
Yes, do that. Or you can hang on, because these are pretty cool. So first up is Just Cause 4.
I was about to say I wanted Hogs of War 2.
Sadly not, mate.
Okay.
Although I would go for that.
Just Cause 4.
Yep.
That is absolutely fine. Just Cause 3 was a really good tech demo, and Just Cause 2 was a really good multiplayer.
2 was phenomenal, and then I thought 3 was like, meh.
The multiplayer mode for Just Cause 2 is the funniest thing that I've ever witnessed.
That's only the PC mod. Those console peasants haven't even seen that thing.
Stop being such a scrub then.
Well...
Yeah, okay, Just Cause 4, looking forward to that. Hopefully they can get... Is it Antonio Banderas who did the voice of it? There's another guy, a very famous actor who did the voice. Would like that person to come back.
Yes, he was cool. The whole thing in 3 was that he had his story and the main man and whatever. But it's Just Cause 4 on the biggest hardware possible. It should be cool.
Perfect.
The next one is a weird one. It's the Final Fantasy 7 Remake, which obviously we knew was coming on Xbox One.
No.
Yeah, it's listed as Xbox One.
One of Sony's best...
But it's not though. It's Square
Enix.
So it's like...
It's just... Okay, that just shows though how tightly that game is tied to the PS...
you assume,
yeah, you assume it is. But obviously it is Square and they can do whatever they like with it. They obviously have had Final Fantasy 15 now on every single platform, so that kind of makes sense. It's just a bit of a shock to hear those words follow it.
You and I will remember a day back in the dark days of the PS2 when the first time, when they weren't even Square Enix, when they first changed the idea of Final Fantasy being a Sony franchise and it went to Xbox and it felt all weird and dirty because it used to be a Sony franchise. But yes, that's pretty much what they're doing.
The same when they did it with the Wii, when they did the Crystal Chronicles. That was an okay game.
It just feels weird. It's like, this should be on this other thing.
Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense. I mean, the development of this thing has been all over the place. They're going to need to recoup funds.
Yeah.
Makes sense that it's on Xbox.
I mean, there is a huge other video to be made on what our feelings are on this remake, episodic format.
Oh, we should do a thing on
that. That's for another day. But still, for the Xbox One, okay, fair enough.
The next one is just The Division 2, which got its official announcement, but at least we know we're going to see it.
Yep.
Or it's been listed at Walmart, so assumably it's going to get some gameplay.
More snow.
More snow. The next one, which is another inevitable one, is WWE 2K19.
Yes! I was so worried that they were going to cancel the series. It doesn't scream of a franchise.
I don't.
Like, the fact that they call it WWE 2K and then a number, I just didn't even think the other day.
It's true. I mean,
I'm so glad to see such an underappreciated, underfunded series continue.
I don't know about you, but I'm hoping they actually get some working animations this time. Maybe a stable frame rate. I mean, a man can dream.
This is the thing.
Jesus Christ, the Switch version was horrible. Carry on.
I have PR contacts that would reprimand me for saying some bad stuff. But let's just say there was a lot of content that was missing from the last couple of ones that was in the PS2 version of the f***ing game.
Yeah.
Here Comes the Pain.
Here Comes the Pain is always going to be the best
one.
one. Just bring back the 360 slow motion camera if you're going to do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, whatever. If you want wrestling bands, you can go to the wrestling channel. But whatever. The next one up is Metroid Prime 4, which again is confirmed, but we know it's going to be there now. It's about time they showed some stuff. Another thing, that was another leak that went alongside this, is that Metroid Prime is actually going to be released at the start of next year. Which is a hell of a turnaround considering they just announced it last year.
That's Willy wishful thinking.
It might be. Big Willy wishfuls. So we'll see. The other one is Lego DC Villains.
I actually quite like the Lego games, to being honest. My friend Rob used to do the music for them. Hello, Rob, if you're watching this. My ex-girlfriend Tess also did some music for that. Hello, Tess, if you're watching.
Oh, you just know everyone. Jules, I know everyone.
It helps to be the man who knows the people. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, great games. They're fun, and I like the fact that they do try and evolve them each and every time. I don't know if Lego Villains is the next big step. It does seem like a sort of stepping stone one.
Yeah.
They do like Dimensions is the big one, and they do like a few little
Bloody
ones.
love Dimensions.
Really good game.
Building different vehicles.
Wish it wasn't so expensive.
Yeah, it's just continued now. But I think that obviously the amount of time it takes to turn a game around, I bet they put this into production back when Suicide Squad was on the cards. And they were like, oh, everyone's going to love DC Villains after this. And then just, you couldn't have tanked the DCU anymore.
Sad trauma.
But we're still getting it. The next one, okay, so this is just weird.
Hogs of War 2.
No, I wish it was. I would have opened with Hogs of War 2. It was Hogs of War 2. Rage 2. Remember Rage?
I do remember Rage,
Yeah.
made by Bethesda and ID Software.
Yeah, id Software.
The guys who did obviously the Doom stuff.
Wolfenstein.
And a lot of
Wolfenstein.
the art design from Rage actually went in to inspire a lot of the sort of graphical qualities of the Doom remake that they did.
The original version of it,
because
yeah.
Rage looked great.
Yeah.
And as a shooter, it was mechanically sound. It just lost a bit of direction
Yeah.
fairly early on. I liked it. I did not see it through
I
to the
think
end.
it's like, because it's weird when you see this listing, it's like, oh man, like that game. But like, yeah, they put their all into it, and that back when that was first coming out, it was like the next big title from id Software.
In fact, Rage, for some reason, sticks in my mind, and I think I know why. It's because of the fact that it was a very strange story where a piece of DLC for it came out a year and a half after the game had stopped being supported. So I clarify if I'm wrong on that.
I remember there was a card game in it.
There was something weird that came out like a long time afterwards,
Right.
and people were like, "Oh, this game still exists." But
Yeah.
fine. Another chance to go back to the nuclear apocalypse. If they can make it sort of more open world and less level based like they did before, it kind of felt like a Borderlands clone, even though it did a lot of things that were.
Is it a little bit Mad Maxy as well in terms of the character art and
I
stuff?
think that's what it is. It suffered from a character identity crisis, and I think that if they can sort that out for Rage 2, bring it on.
Yup. Did I even include? Yeah, okay, we've got another thing later on in
Okay.
regards to something you just said, but we'll get there.
Okay.
Also coming is Dreams. Remember that old PS4 game, Dreams?
As in Dreams Journey into Nick.
Excuse me.
Dreams Journey into... No, that's...
No, you're thinking of that D4 thing. Dark
No.
Dreams Don't Die or whatever. No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Dreams, the game that was announced on PS4 by Media Molecule. It was the follow-up to Little Big Planet. They had basically had this idea where it would be a 3D molding thing, and you could make anything.
Oh, is that the one where you had the wands and you could actually draw stuff in real life and then people could move around
Some
and
of
put
it
the Oculus Rift on?
It wasn't a VR thing, but
No,
they'll probably integrate it. Basically, your reaction is perfect because they announced this back when the PS4 first came out, and it was going to be, it's the next big thing for Media Molecule, and then it just went away, and we didn't really know what they were doing.
Okay, fair
As a
enough.
studio, they've not done a whole lot else, but the demos that they've shown off are like people just molding stuff, like just sculpting clay characters and giving them life and stuff. It's like you can do anything kind of thing. It's all right, but apparently that's coming back, so
Okay, cool.
maybe it'll convince the world.
Good for them.
The next one is Assassin's Creed, but they don't have a name for it. It just says Assassin's Creed. Now I know you love Assassin's Creed. So what would your thoughts be if they rebooted it again and just went with Assassin's Creed and start all over again? Would you like?
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah?
Genuinely, if they were going to restart it from the ground up and they just did the whole thing again.
Why is that good?
I actually went and played Origins a bit more the other day. I quite like it.
It's good. It just has a bad start.
It's just one of those things where it's the same with most Ubisoft games. I just feel like it's the same game over and over and over and over again. And I know that people out there flipping love it, but it just isn't for me. And I'm allowed to not like a game.
I don't think you are. Not online. I think you've got to go for
And
the
the
comment
thing is,
section
I don't even have a strong dislike for it. It's
No.
I just don't gravitate towards it. Like, you guys must have a game out there that you're just like everyone else raves about, and you're just like,
It's just, yeah. I think Ubisoft very much have a formula now. So even if they do reboot it, do a whole soft reboot thing, or just start all over again, we know exactly what it'll be from the moment they announce it. But whatever. So Assassin's Creed is listed. Either it'll be a reboot with a new name, or it'll be the continuation where Origins went from. Now the next one, all the listing says is Dragon Quest 2, but we've already had Dragon Quest Heroes 2.
So it can be that.
So I think it has to be Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Which makes a lot of sense because I actually did see a listing and some posts about that.
There you go.
So I think that would be great. And you know what? That game is really fun.
Oh god, it's so good. It's just Minecraft if Minecraft had quests and progression and lovable characters and everything else.
And liked Dynasty Warriors combat.
Yes,
stuff.
the nice little combat model. It's so charming. If you like Akira Toriyama's art style, it's just oh god, it's just that Dragon Quest things are brilliant.
Yeah,
they just need
I
more.
like Dragon Quest a lot. I just feel like, weirdly, Dragon Quest 8 or whatever, 18 or the new one, it's like whichever one it is
10,
now,
I think.
That's the one that I'm not going to say I'm enamoured by the main franchise. I like the spin-off games more than I like the main franchise.
Ooh, I haven't loved the main one since 8.
But 8 was good.
Journey of the Cursed King, I think. Oh, it's stellar. Now the next up is the thing that we talked about before. It's Splinter Cell.
Yay!
Old man Fisher.
Is Michael Ironside going to come back?
I mean, he has to be, right? He's in the DLC. He's been out there doing interviews with GameSpot. I love when he was on, I think it was on GameSpot, and they said, hey, you're going to do a full game? And he's like, we'll wait and see. And it's like, no, you definitely are recording a thing.
I mean, it was quite a nice story to find out that the reason he stepped away from doing the Splinter Cell games was because he was just ill. Like he was genuinely getting over like quite a serious point in his life and stuff like that, and he stood away from the games because he couldn't do it.
Right.
But the developers of Splinter Cell said, we will also take a break until he feels better because they...
Minus Blacklist, which was
but they apparently saw the credit in keeping their actors as, you know, they helped make the character, so wait until
Oh,
they're
absolutely,
ready. Like, you know, you could learn a lesson. That's probably why, you know, David Hayter got annoyed.
I was going to say that. I was going
Yeah.
to just be like, at least they can do what Kojima didn't do with Metal Gear and actually keep the voice actor that people love. And plus, the older and more croaky Mike Ironside sounds, the better he is for Fisher. Like, he's great.
We should just clarify that you said Kojima. I think you meant Konami.
No, genuinely, it's Kojima. Have you not seen David Hayter calling him out?
Oh, did they
Yeah.
that long?
Oh, yeah, it's Kojima.
Ooh,
And I love Kojima.
spicy.
Right in
Anyway,
the heart,
right,
mate.
next
But he
one.
didn't want him. He didn't
Next
want
one, next
Mr.
one.
Hater. Oh, I'm a hater. So the next one up is something you mentioned before, Borderlands 3.
Yay!
Finally coming after
Finally.
many interviews saying they were hard at work on it. Randy
Yeah.
Pitchford confirmed it ages ago. We knew it's coming,
Good.
but never officially. So assumedly this is going to be Gearbox's big thing.
Borderlands 2 might have been one of the most fun games I've ever played. Like online and off games. I really enjoy it. I love grinding, like loot system stuff. I love all of the weapons you can get, the characters, the silly humor. That to me was a game where I just literally could take my brain off and just play for hours.
I heard so
Loved
much
it.
about the loop and how addictive it was, and I went to it, but I think I went to it too late, and I just couldn't get on board with the combat. But I know it's meant to be amazing, so I'm kind of hoping that they've, I don't know, made it a bit more weighty or something.
I mean, the combat improvements that they made in the pre-sequel were actually quite welcome.
Well, there is that, yeah.
So I'm hoping that they'll move forward again and maybe just combine everything that they've done.
Plus, Gearbox really needs something profitable because they did
Yeah.
Battleborn last, which just got eaten alive by Overwatch.
I felt really sorry for them because I was one of the very few people that actually played Battleborn
Right.
for a little bit. Like, and when I say a little bit, I mean under a month. You know what? It actually was.
It was a good game.
It was competent.
Yeah.
But it's just that Overwatch is a perfect storm of marketing and balance and support and a built-in fan base.
I'm like debating doing a separate video on the amount of games that Overwatch itself has eaten alive. Like both Battleborn, Lawbreakers, like any superhero focused shooter just doesn't stand a chance whatsoever.
I mean, it was less sort of like David versus Goliath in that matchup, and more of a like quadriplegic going up against a Cyclops.
Just kicking the out of it.
Yeah, punting him into the sea.
It's not good. Not to worry. There is another sequel coming up. But do you like Gears? Do you like Gears of War? Remember when
Oh,
that
I thought
matters?
you were talking about Gearbox again.
Their time's passed.
I love Gears of War.
Same. Gears of War, especially the first trilogy. I like the second half of 4.
I'm so glad that you established that the trilogy.
Yes.
Yeah, the first trilogy was really fun.
Judgment isn't as bad as you might remember it being. It's aged better than it did when it first came out.
To be fair, the qualities of Gears of War 4 lie in its multiplayer. Like the horde
Or the second
mode
half of the story.
or the horde mode or whatever it is that they've got there, the sort of like the second half of the story is great, but the online competition is, I would say, as good as the rest of them. But the story itself was a bit bleh.
Yeah, I think it's just that JD Phoenix wasn't that good. But I love, oh god, I love the way, oh my god, the way that they end the story, where they tease the thing that the fans have always wanted to do know more about since the end of Gears of War 2, the whole thing with the Locust Queen and Queen Mirror and all that kind of thing. And then it's like the new last Caitlyn or Kat, whatever she's called, has the mark, and it's like, we're gonna go there, we're gonna do the thing for all 5 of you that care.
Gonna finally get there. So hopefully this will carry that on.
But I mean, the thing that they need to do is just kill JD Phoenix. God damn it, he sucks. He's just you rip off Nolan North guy. He just sucks and whatever. Just do old man Phoenix, old man Cole. All that is so much better. Just do that. Just do old man things.
What's really funny though is if you at home want to laugh, Google the character developer artist behind all of the people, and when you see what he looks like, it is so funny.
Bless him,
he
man.
looks like Marcus Phoenix.
He's a large man.
And basically he's like super roided up, and he's got like a little sort of like soul patch or something like that. And basically he's just made himself in a game and just thought, this is what all men look like. This is what all men look like.
I think if he's like if Five Finger Death Punch was a person, he's just like
totally
doing the thing. But bless him, I mean, like Gears of War, like obviously that series has a lineage, like it has a hell of a pull if you're an Xbox or a 360 fan. 360 because it was only on 360. But I mean, Microsoft need a win. They need something for people to care about. And even though my gut says it's actually not Gears, there is a fan base there. So depending on how they treat it, it could come back in a big way. But proof's going to be in the pudding, man. They need a really solid trailer.
Very, very much so, because obviously we haven't heard anything from Halo in a while. So.
No, and that's not even on here. But assumedly Halo 6 is coming. Although 343's big thing for this year is fixing the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
From 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, we wouldn't mind that actually working.
But anyway, those are all of the releases that Walmart Canada put up and then quickly took back down again. And as always, I've been Jules.
I've been Scott.
And you've been awesome. And we'll speak to you soon.
Goodbye. Bye.